Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Olympique Lyonnais. Olympique Lyonnais, commonly referred to as simply Lyon or OL, is a French football club based in Lyon. It plays in France's highest football division, Ligue 1. The club was formed as Lyon Olympique Universitaire in 1899 according to many supporters and sport historians, but was nationally established as a club in 1950. The club's most successful period has been the 21st century. The club won its first Ligue 1 championship in 2002, starting a national record-setting streak of 7 successive titles. Lyon has also won a record 7 Trophée des Champions, 5 Coupe de France titles, and 3 Ligue 2. Lyon has participated in the UEFA Champions League 12 times and, during the 2009-10 season, reached the semi-finals of the competition for the first time after 3 previous quarter-final appearances. Olympique Lyonnais plays its home matches at the 59,186-seat Parc Olympique Lyonnais, commercially known as Groupama Stadium in Décines-Charpieu, a suburb of Lyon. The club's home colors are white, red and blue. Lyon was a member of the G14 group of leading European football clubs, and are founder members of its successor, the European Club Association. Olympique Lyonnais is one of the most popular clubs in France. A 2009 survey found that about 11% of the country's football fans support the club, a proportion Lyon shared with Paris Saint-Germain, behind only Olympique de Marseille. The club's nickname, Les Gons, means the kids in Lyon's regional dialect of Arpitan. The chairman of Lyon is Jean-Michel Aulas, and the club is managed by Bruno Sio. Olympique Lyonnais also has a successful women's football team that has won its league a record 15 times. The women's team has also won 9 Coupe de France titles, and the UEFA Women's Champions League in 2011, 2012, 2016 and 2017. History. Olympique Lyonnais was initially formed under the multisports club Lyon Olympique Universitaire, which was originally formed in 1896 as Racing Club de Lyon. Following numerous internal disagreements regarding the cohabitation of amateurs and professionals within the club, then manager of the club Félix Loewe and his entourage contemplated forming their own club. On 3 August 1950, Loewe's plan came to fruition when Olympique Lyonnais was officially founded by Dr. Albert Trillet and numerous others. The club's first manager was Oscar Highshearer, and on 26 August 1950, played its first official match, defeating CA Paris Charenton 3-0 in front of 3,000 supporters. In just the club's second year of existence, Lyon was crowned champion of the second division, securing promotion to the first division. The club maintained its first division place for the remainder of the decade, excluding a year's stint in the second division. For the 1953-54 season, Lyon achieved moderate success during the 1960s and 1970s, with the likes of Fleury Dinalo, Nestor Combin, Serge Chiesa, Bernard Lacombe, and Guy Djorkaeff playing major roles. Under manager Lucien Jasseron, Lyon won its first ever Coupe de France title, defeating Bordeaux 2-0 in the 1963-64 season. The club also performed respectably in the league under Jasseron's reign until the 1965-66 season, when Lyon finished 16th, which ultimately led to Jasseron's departure. His replacement was Louis Hon, who helped Lyon win their second Coupe de France title after defeating Sochaux 3-1 in the 1966-67 season. Lyon was managed by former Lyon legend Aimé Mignet heading into the 1970s. Under Mignot's helm, Lyon won its third Coupe de France title in 1972-73, beating Nantes 2-1. In June 1987, Lyon was bought by Rhône businessman Jean-Michel Aulas, who took control of the club, aiming to turn Lyon into an established Ligue 1 side. His ambitious plan, titled All Europe, was designed to develop the club at the European level and back into the first division within a period of no more than 4 years. The first manager under the new hierarchy was Raymond Domenech. The aspiring chairman gave Domenech carte blanche to recruit whoever he saw fit to help the team reach the first division. They went on to accomplish this in Domenech's first season in charge. Lyon achieved its zenith under Domenech when it qualified for the UEFA Cup. For the remainder of his tenure, however, the club underachieved. Domenech was replaced by former French international Jean Tigana, who led the team to an impressive second place in the 1994-95 season. At the start of the new millennium, Lyon began to achieve greater success in French football. The club established itself as the premier club in France, defeating Marseille and Paris Saint-Germain, and also became France's richest club as well as one of the most popular. Lyon became known for developing promising talent who went on to achieve greatness not only in France but also abroad and internationally. Notable examples include Michael Essien, Florent Malouda, Sidney Govou, Juninho, Chris Eric Abidal, Mamadou Diarra, Patrick Muller and Karim Benzema. Lyon won its first ever Ligue 1 championship in 2002, starting a national record-breaking streak of 7 successive titles. During that run, the club also won 1 Coupe de France title, its first Coupe de la Ligue title, and a record 6 Trophée des Champions. The club also performed well in UEFA competitions, reaching as far as the quarter-finals on 3 occasions, and the semi-finals in 2010 in the UEFA Champions League. Lyon's streak and consistent dominance of French football came to an end during the 2008-09 season, when it lost the title to Bordeaux. Ownership and finances. Olympique Lyonnais is owned by Rhône businessman Jean-Michel Aulas, who acquired the club on 15 June 1987. He serves as the founder and chief operating officer of CEGID. After ridding the club of its debt, Aulas restructured the club's management and reorganized the finances, and in a span of 2 decades, transformed the club from a second-division team into one of the richest football clubs in the world. However, Aulas has been lambasted by critics for running the club as if it were a business. The club currently operates on the European Stock Exchange under the name OL Group, initialed OLG. In April 2008, business magazine Forbes ranked Lyon as the 13th most valuable football team in the world. The magazine valued the club at $408 million excluding debt. On February 2009, Lyon were rated in the 12th spot in the Deloitte Football Money League, reportedly bringing in an annual revenue of €155.7 million for the 2007-08 season, which ranks among the world's best football clubs in terms of revenue. In 2016, a Chinese private equity fund acquired 20% stake in Olympique Lyonnais Group for €100 million. The fund was managed by IDG Capital Partners. Aulas currently serves on the board for the European Club Association, a sports organization representing football clubs in Europe. He was also the last president of the now-defunct G14 organization, as of 10 November 2009. Stadium. Olympique Lyonnais has played at the Stade de Gélon since 1950, the year of the club's foundation. In 1910, the mayor of Lyon, Edouard Herriot, came up with the idea to develop and build a sports stadium with an athletics track and a velodrome in the city. In 1912, the stadium was officially mandated and local architect Tony Garnier was given the reins to designing and constructing it. Construction began in 1914, with hopes that the stadia would be completed before the International Exhibition of 1914. Due to World War I, however, construction was temporarily halted, but resumed following its conclusion in 1919. By 1920, the stadium was completely functional. In 1926, the Stade de Gélon was inaugurated by Harriet. Olympique Lyonnais began play at the Gélon in 1950 and have remained at the stadium since. The stadia originally had a cycling track but was removed to increase the seating capacity to 50,000. In 1984, minor renovations were made to the stadium by architect René Gagas. This included construction of the Jean Boan and Jean Jaurès stands. Further renovations were needed to prepare the stadium for the 1998 FIFA World Cup as, by that time, FIFA had mandated that all stadiums used for international matches, including the World Cup, had to be all-seated. The north and south stands, known as the Jean Jaurès and Jean Boan stand respectively, were completely knocked down and rebuilt, and the athletics track that had remained even after the cycling track had been removed was taken out. The renovations were done by architect Albert Constantin. The new incarnation of Gélon has a maximum capacity of 40,500. On 1 September 2008, Olympique Lyonnais president Jean-Michel Aulas announced plans to create a new 60,000-seat stadium, tentatively called All-Land, to be built on 50 hectares of land located in Décines-Charpieu, a suburb of Lyon. The stadium is presently under construction and plans are to also include state-of-the-art sporting facilities, 2 hotels, a leisure centre and commercial and business offices. On 13 October 2008, the project was agreed upon by the state, the General Council of Rhône, the Grand Lyon SYTRAL and the municipality of Décines for construction, with approximately €180 million of public money being used, and between €80 million coming from the urban community of Lyon. Since the announcement, however, the club's efforts to get the stadium off the ground has been hindered mainly due to slow administrative procedures, political interests and various opposition groups, who view the stadium as financially, ecologically and socially wrong for the taxpayers and community of Décines. The project is currently on hold, but most estimate that the stadium will be completed by 2015. The official name of the stadium will be the Stade des Lumières. On the 22nd of September 2009, French newspaper L'Equipe reported that All-Land had been selected by the French Football Federation as one of the 12 stadiums to be used in the country's bidding for UEFA Euro 2016. The FFF officially made their selections on the 11th of November 2009, and the city of Lyon was selected as a site to host matches during the tournament. The opening of Parc Olympique was on the 9th of January 2016. Olympique Lyonnais beat Troyes 4-1 with goals from Alexandre Lacazette, Rachid Ghezzal, Jordan Ferry and Claudio Beauvieu. Centre Tola Vologe. The Centre Tola Vologe is the training centre and club headquarters of Olympique Lyonnais. It is located in the city of Lyon, not far from the Stade de Gélon. The facility is named after an athlete commonly called Tola Vologe, who was a Lyon sportsman and was murdered by the Gestapo during World War II. The facility is known for its high-level training, and several prominent players have passed through the youth training center. These include Karim Benzema, Hatem Ben Arfa, Sidney Govou and Ludovic Giuly. The centers hosts training sessions for the senior team and also serves as the home facility for the club's reserve youth and female sides who both play their home matches at the Plaine de Jeux de Jalon. Former Lyon player Alain Olio is the current director of the centre. Colours and kits. Since the club's foundation, the primary colours have been red, blue and white, with the latter being the most predominant of the three. During the early years of the club's existence, Olympique Lyonnais primarily played in all-white uniforms. In 1955, Lyon officials decided to add a red and blue scapular and blue shorts to the combination. In 1961, the scapular tradition was disbanded and the two strips of red and blue were shaped horizontally. After 6 years, the club returned to the all-white uniforms but kept intact the red and blue stripes, but instead of keeping them horizontally, inserted them vertically and on the left side of the shirt. Lyon began wearing the shirt during the 1970-71 season and wore the kits up until the 1975-76 season. For the 2002-03 season, Chairman Jean-Michel Aulas announced that the club would return the kits. Lyon wore them, with several different modifications every year for 6 of their 7 consecutive titles. In 1976, the club endured a drastic change to their kit, stitching the all-white uniforms for an all-red style akin to English club Liverpool. The club wore the kits up until the 1989-90 season, with the 1977-78 and 1978-79 seasons being excluded due to the club adding navy blue vertical stripes to the shirt that was deemed unsuccessful. Following the 1989-90 season, the club returned to the all-white kits, and at the start of the 1995-96 season, the club returned the vertical stripes but opted to insert them in the center of the shirt instead of to the left. The club kept this style until the 2001-02 season. For the 2009-10 season, Lyon returned the horizontal red and blue stripes. In the Champions League, Lyon has used a variety of different colors as first choice, including red, navy blue, light blue, black, silver and fluorescent yellow. Supporters. Olympique Lyonnais has a highly active and loyal fan base composed of many groups of supporters. One of the club's most notable supporters group is Bad Gons. The Bad Gons were established in 1987 around the time of Jean-Michel Aulas' purchase of the team, and occupy the Vologe Nord area of the Stade de Jalon. During the 2007-08 season, the group celebrated its 20th anniversary. The Bad Gons is the biggest group of supporters in France, and have a very strong reputation in Europe due to the club's control of Ligue 1. As well as Lyon's continued appearances in the UEFA Champions League. Another notable supporters group is the Cosa Nostra Lyon, who occupy the Vologe Sud area of the stadium. The group was created in 2007 as a result of a merger between two groups, the Ligue Dunamis, which had existed since 1993, and Nucleo Ultra, which formed in 2000. The merger was created to achieve a sense of stability among supporters. The group is no longer recognized by the club, but continues to operate in a functional manner. Other support groups include the Hexat Gons, which was formed in 2000 and sit in the Vologe Sud area, the Gastrogons, who occupy the Jean Boan stand, and the OLs Club, who sit in the Jean Jaurès stand. The club also has support groups that are based in areas outside of the city of Lyon. The Gons' 58 supporters comes from the department of Nièvre in Bourgogne, while Gons' 26 origins come from the department of Drôme in nearby Valence. 3 minor support groups in Septimégones, Loops, Marchoir and Dorfagons comes from the commune of Errailles in the department of Cruces and the department of Isère respectively. Rivalries. Main article, Derby Rhône-Alpes, Choc des Olympiques. Historically, Lyon has a healthy rivalry with fellow Ligue 1 club Saint-Étienne, whom they contest the Derby Rhône-Alpes with. Since the club's dominance at the start of the new millennium, however, they have established rivalries with Marseille, Bordeaux, Paris Saint-Germain and Lille. Lyon also share minor rivalries with fellow Rhône-Alpes clubs Grenoble and as Lyon Dutchvery. The Saint-Étienne rivalry began during the 1960s, when Lyon established permanent residency in the French First Division. The Arpitan rivalry stems from both clubs' close proximity of each other, separated by just 38 miles. As well as historical, social and cultural difference between the two cities where they are based. Lyon cited as being more upper-class while Saint-Étienne is cited as being more working-class. The derby also pits the recently most successful French club against the formerly biggest French club, and is often cited as one of the high points of the Ligue 1 season. Lyon's rivalry with Marseille goes back to the 23rd of September 1945, when the clubs contested their first match. The derby, often called Choc des Olympiques or Olympico, is often cited as being particularly important as both clubs are of high standard in French football and the championship is regularly decided between the two. Marseille, Saint-Étienne, Lyon, and PSG are the only French clubs to have won the French First Division 4 straight times, with Marseille doing it on 2 occasions. Sponsors. On 7 August 2009, Lyon announced that it would sign a 10-year deal with the German sportswear brand Adidas, effective at the start of the 2010-11 season, with Lyon earning €5 million annually from the deal, plus possible royalty fees based on product sales. Following the 2008-09 season, Lyon's long-term sponsorship agreement with a French multinational corporation Accor and Renault Trucks ended. On the 22nd of July 2009, the Paris-based online bookmaker Betclic reached an agreement with Lyon to advertise on the club's kits. Due to French law prohibiting online gambling, however, Lyon could not wear its kits displaying the Betclic logo. On the 12th of August 2009, just before the opening league match against Le Mans, the club was relieved of its Betclic-sponsored shirts by the Ligue de Football Professionnel, which warned the club that it risked forfeiting points if the club wore them. Lyon complied and, since the Le Mans match, has worn sponsorless shirts while playing on French soil. Lyon is free to wear its Betclic-sponsored shirts outside France. On the 25th of August 2009, the club unveiled the shirts in Belgium while taking on Anderlecht in the Champions League. On the 15th of January 2010, Lyon secured a sponsorship agreement with Japanese video game company Sony Computer Entertainment to display the company's PlayStation logo on the shirts. The deal lasted until the end of the 2009-10 season. In 2010, the French ban on online gambling advertising was lifted, and Lyon began wearing its Betclic-sponsored shirts on French soil. In August 2012, the club agreed a 2-year sponsorship deal with Korean car manufacturers Hyundai that would start in 2012-13 season, replacing Betclic as the main sponsor in the shirts for Ligue 1 matches. Minor sponsors of the club include LG, APICIL and MDA Electromanager. During Coupe de France matches, the club wear kits sponsored by SFR Caisse d'Épargne and Pictures. They are main sponsors of the FFF. During Coupe de la Ligue matches, Lyon wear shirts with a Speedy Triangle logo on the front of their shirt, as they are main sponsors of the LFP. Honours. Main article, Olympique Lyonnais in football competitions. 4 honours won by reserves and academy teams. Olympique Lyonnais reserves. and academy honors. Lyon has won Ligue 1 7 times, which ranks tied for fourth in French football history. Lyon has the distinction of starting a national record-breaking streak of 7 successive titles, beginning with the 2001-02 season. The club has also been crowned champions of Ligue 2 3 times, won 5 Coupe de France titles, 1 Coupe de la Ligue title, and a record 7 Trophée des Champions. Though the club is a regular participant in the UEFA Champions League, they have only reached as far as the semi-finals, which was accomplished during the 2009-10 season. Lyon has won the UEFA Intertoto Cup, achieving this honor in 1997. Numbers of honor. Main article: Retired numbers in football. L1 Retired numbers in football. 16 Flagicon Fra. Retired in 1999 in recognition of goalkeeper Luc Borrelli. Borrelli was killed in a road accident in February of that year. In 2011, the number was brought out of retirement and given to backup goalkeeper Anthony Lopes. 17 Flagicon CMR. Retired in 2003 in recognition of midfielder Marc-Vivien Foe Acute. Foe Acute died while playing for Cameroon in the 2003 FIFA Confederations Cup at the Stade de Gélon. Lyon. The number was brought out of retirement in 2008 to allow Cameroonian player Jean Macoun to wear it. Following Macoun's departure, the number went without use for a year. In 2011, it was given to Alexandre Lacazette. Managers. Details: List of Olympique Lyonnais managers. Olympique Lyonnais has had 22 permanent managers and 2 caretaker managers since the club's first appointed Oscar Highshearer as a professional manager in 1950. Highshearer also served as the first player-coach of the club coming out of retirement to play during his final season at the club. The longest-serving manager in terms of time was Amy Acute Mignot, who managed Lyon for 8 years from 1968 to 1976. Alain Perrin, who managed the club from 2007-08, was the first Lyon manager to achieve the double. Current coaching staff. As of the 20th of December 2016. Class Wikitable. Pipe! Position. Name: Manager, Bruno G. Acute Ne Acute SIO. Polo Assistant Manager, Gerald Batical. Assistant Manager, Kashapa. Goalkeeper Coach, Joel Batts. Olympique Lyonnais Ladies. Main article: Olympique Lyonnais. Olympique Lyonnais currently play in France's top division, the Championnat de France de football féminin. The ladies' team was set up in the 1970s as part of FC Lyon but was attached to OL in the summer of 2004. They mostly play their home games at Groupama Training Centre, 200 meters from Parc Olympique Lyonnais, the main stadium. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Would you like to know more?